Okay, so based on the poll that I made 4 days ago, it is clear that you guys want me to make a video on my top 5 favorite games of all time. The one person who voted for, the Roblox Hidden Gem video, don't worry, I'm gonna do that. Shout out to you, by the way. I actually want to make that video anyways at some point in the future. I'm probably gonna do 3 hidden gems instead of just 1. As for now, though, I know we're here for this video. So here's my top 5 favorite games of all time. Cuphead is in my number 5 spot, which shouldn't be a surprise, seeing as this was literally, I think, the second game I ever streamed on this channel. Let's start off by talking, of course, about the visuals and the art style, basically. The first thing that everyone talks about. The visuals and the art style look so good because they were hand-drawn first, then put into Photoshop and colored digitally, which gives you that perfect, those perfect smooth lines of like hand-drawn and the pop of the colors from digital coloring, which is really, really nice. The game's also very difficult, which if you know me, you know I like difficult games. So Cuphead kind of stood out to me for that reason. The music is also magnificent. I literally have listened to some of these tracks for hours and I still haven't gotten bored of them. Also, Cuphead is nearly a perfect game. It's the shame that it doesn't have too much content. Like, I finished everything to do with the game in about 30 something hours. Which, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of content for the price. I just wish there was a little bit more. I know there was the Delicious Last Course, which was the DLC. And the DLC was great. Don't get me wrong, I really love the DLC. I like the new weapons, I like Miss Chalice's unique playstyle, the new bosses are sick. But I do think that when Cuphead 2 comes out, that will probably be higher up on the list compared to the original Cuphead. Well, if Cuphead 2 comes out, these devs make Cuphead 2, it would be amazing. My number 4 game, I've also streamed before. However, when I streamed it, it was very, very laggy. And no, it's not Security Breach, it's actually Sonic Frontiers. Sonic Frontiers is probably like the first Sonic game that completely wowed me in every sense possible. The graphics, they look magnificent. It blends realism and fantasy perfectly together, I would say, to create a beautiful game. The soundtrack, well, it's Sonic, what did you expect? The soundtrack's gonna be banging no matter what, basically. And the gameplay. It is a very unique type of game for Sonic, I will say. Most time with Sonic, you just run to the finish line as fast as you can, and while there is some of that in the white space levels, the main gameplay of the game is Breath of the Wild / Tears of the Kingdom styled open world exploration, where you go around collecting things to try and unlock the Chaos Emeralds, and then you use those Chaos Emeralds to progress with the game, fighting the most epic bosses of all time, while listening to some amazing music, heavy metal, rock music, I guess. I don't know the exact genre. Even though the game was really laggy, I honestly really, really enjoyed it, even on my old PC. And I actually want to do a replay at some point in the future on this channel, as a live stream, just because I didn't give it proper justice on my original playthrough with the amount of lag there was. I did play the Final Horizon, the DLC, with my new PC, which felt so much better, but I do still want to do a replay of it in the future. Full replay from beginning to end, including Final Horizon, so stay tuned for that. Also, if you're wondering why I'm using gameplay from my streams, which I literally just mentioned how laggy and low quality they were, it's because I don't have the game installed right now. I have literally no storage, so very sorry about that. Hopefully the replay will make justice for this as well. In our number 3 spot, we have a game that was on Game Pass at one point, then got taken off recently, and I was actually really sad because I bought Game Pass for this game mainly, but then it went on discount on Steam, and I played it and I got further than what I did when I had Game Pass. And honestly, this game is just great, honestly. I'm talking about Neon White, of course. Neon White has amazing story, gameplay, aesthetics, music. It pretty much hits every box for me. And it's an indie game that's fairly cheap as well, which makes it even better. First of all, the story, dialogue, and characters are all just so great. The characters have so much depth and personality in them. Their dialogue is so unique to one another, and it feels like they fit perfectly within the world that they were put in and their backgrounds. I'm not gonna go too in depth into that just because I don't want to spoil anything, but trust me, you want to know what happens to the characters by the end. It's amazing, honestly. The art style is also very unique, taking a cartoonish art style and mixing it with sci-fi realism. I don't even know how to describe it. It's kind of like a surreal art style. I guess that's what the art style is, a surreal art style. of like cartoonish animation, retro and like sci-fi. The music is also just amazing. I love like the small snippets of lyrics just thrown in like samples in a way. The instruments are perfectly like balanced out, so there's not too much of one instrument compared to the other. And honestly, there's one specific song later on that is so good. It's from a level that, and also from a level that I really like. Honestly, the gameplay of the level is amazing. Sadly, I can't show it here because it will have major spoilers. So yeah, but let me just say, I really love that the level, and that entire episode in general. It's amazing. Speaking of which, level design and gameplay is on point. The weapons are all fun to use. The platforming is done perfectly. None of the levels feel unfair, and it's a fun game to just go fast in. You can like go as fast as you want, honestly. Well, there is a limit, obviously, but like you can go as fast as you can think. If there's any way that you could think of time save, try it, and it might save time. You never know. And that's what I think makes this game so great. You can play it any way you want, basically, when it comes to levels. You can go slow and get low ranks. You can go super fast and try going for world records. The possibilities are never ending, basically. Also, as of recording this, I haven't even finished the game yet. So, if the ending of the game is absolutely like amazing and perfect in every way, shape, or form, then this game might go shoot higher, past what number 2 is. Speaking of which, let's get on to my number 2 game of all time. Yup, it's Ultra Kill. I've actually somehow never streamed this game, same with Neon White, on my channel, which is a shocker because both of these games are games that I really love and I just want to play, honestly, and just get better times and ranks. I feel like the thing that you notice first whenever you play Ultra Kill is the art style, how it takes a very like retro low poly art style and pulls it off so perfectly with modern mechanics. It does it in a very weird yet satisfying and beautiful way. The gameplay also is just all about going fast and killing things, just like Neon White. Maybe you're starting to see what type of games I like from these past two. Whatever. All the weapons are unique and fun in their own way, and you can pull off some crazy things with the weapons, like crazy tech. Shooting one coin in front of an enemy while the other coin in the back of the enemy, and railgunning it, you know, does the little weird chain thing. It's really cool. The game's music is also so good. It fits the game so perfectly. You know, you're just killing and killing, and just the break chord in the background goes so hard while you're doing it, honestly. It's a magnificent playlist for if you're like need hype or just to like even start your day off and you just need to get out of bed. It's a perfect playlist for that, honestly. As for story, I do have to say that Ultra Kill is a little bit weak on the story, but that's because it is all like very cryptic and hidden within the levels throughout books, statues, Easter eggs, everything and anything basically that you could think of. Speaking of secrets and Easter egg, Ultra Kill is not just a first-person shooter. It has multiple genres built within it. If wondering how that's possible, it's through the secret levels across the game. Across the game you can find a lot of secret levels by just exploring or doing certain tasks to enter them. And these secret levels can literally be anything, from just a regular puzzle game to a horror game and even a dating sim? I don't know how that's even possible in a game like this, but the amount of genres are actually amazing, honestly, and I really enjoyed every single secret level. It's also cool how in the game you can pretty much parry anything, as you can see from the gameplay. I literally parried Ninos's hand back into him, and I was like, the first time I saw that I was so shocked that you could even do that, because I was like, I didn't think that would be possible. But then I remembered you can parry literally anything in this game, anything I could think of. If you want to parry a black hole, do it. You can do that. I'm not even joking. Also, when I was recording the gameplay for Ultra Kill, the Easter update was out, and I didn't even realize that. So basically all the enemies have bunny ears, which I thought was pretty funny. So I guess there's another bonus for this game. Seasonal updates for like Easter, Christmas, Halloween, and so on. Overall, Ultra Kill blends a bunch of genres together to make one of the greatest games I have ever played. And it was actually my top 1 game for the longest time, until about a year ago, when a certain game got its update. But first, some honorable mentions, of course, which I'm going to be rapid firing off of the list that I have right now pulled up. So let's just get started on the list. Persona 3 Reload, Sonic Mania, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, Specifically Zombies, Minecraft, Terraria, Slime Rancher, Sons of the Forest, Sonic Unleashed, Undertale, Undertale Yellow, and most likely to have been on the list but wasn't because it's a fan game, Sonic Robots 2. I actually love Sonic Robots 2 and I think it's better than every other official Sonic game, but it's a fan game so I thought it wouldn't be right to include it on the list. If you do think it would be right though, then let me know, and whenever I make my top 10 list at some point in the future, I'll have it on there. Anyways, now onto my number 1 game of all time. This is a game that I've played on my channel a couple of different times. Honestly, before the update that came out about a year ago, I would have told you it was in my top 5, just not at number 1. But after this update, it shot up in an instant basically. As soon as I played it and finished it, it was magnificent. And of course, I'm talking about whenever I hear this song, it literally makes me ascend. I'm not even joking, it's just that good. I'm gonna be honest, when Deltarune first came out with Chapter 1, I didn't think it was better than Undertale. I honestly thought Undertale was better than Deltarune then. Just because it was too short, which in all fairness, Chapter 1 was meant to be just a demo, so that explained it. After Chapter 2 released, and I was not a fan of Chapter 2, and to be honest, to this day, I'm still not the biggest fan of Chapter 2, although I will say it has grown on me more. I do enjoy Chapter 2 more than I did a couple of years ago. However, then Chapter 3 and 4 released. And this, literally, carried the game from around top 10-ish to number 1 on my list of all time. I honestly think Deltarune will forever be up there, simply because the game's not even done yet. It still has 3 or 4 more chapters to go. Which means that if those chapters are even better than Chapter 3 and 4, then it would literally forever stay at number 1 and will never be dethroned ever, in my opinion. Honestly. For starters, the art style. It is basically just an upgraded art style compared to what Undertale had. So there's a bit more depth in everything and looks much nicer, honestly, I would say. However, the character designs aren't too complicated to the point to where they would get lost in a way. Sometimes less is more, if you know what I mean. The combat is also straight out of Undertale, just upgraded. For starters, you can see your characters on the side and the enemy on the other side, which is really cool. But then there's also some new features called Magic and TP, which both are incredible new features, I would say, in the sense that you can get TP by grazing attacks, and you can use that TP to do magic, which magic can either be healing, damaging, pacifying, whatever you can do with those characters. Throughout most of the game, you're also in a team of 3, which makes it way better since having more characters means you have more opportunities to basically do things in your turn, such as acting, fighting, healing, whatever it is basically. You can just have more opportunity compared to Undertale, since Undertale is just you with one turn, that's it, basically. The music.
Oh, this song's amazing. There's another door frame. Wait, what? Side doors don't have fast travel?
It is so much better than Undertale's soundtrack, I don't care what anyone says. The music is actually a bop. I literally have listened to Deltarune's soundtrack more times than I can count. I'm not even joking, like, I've listened to most of the soundtrack a lot of times, and every single song is just such a banger. Even the ones that you think, like, are just small side songs, or like just some sound effects, are so well done that I generally just listen to them. That's how good they are, honestly. The story as well is amazing. I don't think I go into much depth without spoiling too much, but I do have to say, like, if you get through the game, you will enjoy the story a lot. The character development, the enemies, the discoveries, the plot twists, everything is amazing. I genuinely don't think Deltarune will ever be beat as the best game of all time, in my opinion. Well, that was my top 5 games of all time alongside honorable mentions. If you enjoyed the video and you want more of this style of video, like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments. Make an overall like top 10 or top 5 or even tier list video or something like that. I wouldn't be opposed to doing those, honestly. My next video will either end up being a surprise video that I'm working on. I'm gonna tell you this. It has something to do with Minecraft. Or it's gonna end up being the Roblox Hidden Gem video. Depends on times and if I can get the video recorded. The Minecraft video, I mean. Recorded, since I need more people for the video. Anyways, thank you for watching. And I'll see you next time. Peace.